Hello, everyone. This is Stephen with Democracy Demythologized, and today I'm talking with Dr. Muya. So, Dr. Muya is a scholar of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and he has spent years uh, studying the conflict in the region, both as a scholar and before that, he was also a journalist in that area. And we're going to talk about a lot of the conflicts in the Eastern Congo, particularly in the Kivu area. And he's going to go through a lot about the history of what's happening and how that feeds into some of the violence we're seeing today. There are a lot of factors that seem to contribute to what's going on, both domestically and internationally. One thing that stood out to me was how interconnected all the different issues are, and how much what's going on in the Congo is really a product of a lot of different international forces, both in the region and around the world. Even some of the most, like what might seem like some of the most local issues are often really fed, say, for example, ethnic disputes. They're often really fed by wider international conversations in the region. They relate to different ethnic groups that span multiple countries, and different countries in the area will often feed the conflict, those local conflicts, for their own benefit. And yeah, just kind of seeing that how much different international players influence and seem to create what's going on in the Congo, whether that's other countries nearby like Rwanda and Uganda, or kind of big powers like the US and China. Everyone has their hand in the Congo, and seems on some level complicit in the violence there. I hope you enjoy the conversation, and I hope some of my viewers might know a fair amount about what's going on in the Congo. Some might have pretty much never heard of it. So either way, I hope you get something out of it. Hello, everyone. We're here with Dr. Yvon Muya. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Stephen. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, it's good to be able to talk. So today we're going to talk a lot about Congo, about the Democratic Republic of the Congo. You're like a scholar who studies this. Do you want to maybe talk about, let's get started talking about like what made you interested in this? What made you interested in studying Congo, and kind of what areas do you typically research?
Okay, what I know about Congo and what I studied about Congo came from the field.
Mm,
As I worked there as a journalist before. So for nearly 20 years, my my first training, my first profession was journalism. I grew up in journalism for all these years, covering those conflicts in the field from Kinshasa to Kivu, uh, reporting on debate in the Congolese parliament. So I have a close relationship with the political area in Congo and these conflicts. When I started my career as journalist, it was in the middle of negotiations. You know, those negotiations from Pretoria, where all the belligerent in these conflicts signed the major agreement called the Agreement of Pretoria after Sun City's negotiations. And this led to this major agreement and a government of national union. We hoped that time in Congo that this conflict is over. Unfortunately, it was not the case, and so yeah.
yeah.
So you see, I have something to to live with these conflicts from the field. And now when I moved in Canada, I discovered conflict studies as a program in St. Paul University, as a journalist. It was a major discovering to make those phenomena to change my perspective from just reporting to think and suggest a solution possibly to this conflict. So that what I know, and then all those topics I covered, identities, phenomenon, crisis, political violence that still occur in the Eastern Congo. All those stuff was the base of what I am learning now when I discovered this program of conflict studies in St. Paul University.
Yeah, this makes total sense. And by the way, I feel like every single time that there's an agreement in Congo, there's always a hope. It's like this one will be the one that lasts. And then I guess I guess we'll know it when we see it.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are a couple of agreements from 2002, and now I can tell you, agreement and negotiation. They were in Lusaka, Zambia for negotiation and for agreement. You have the agreement of Lusaka. This was in 1999, 1999, to 2000 negotiation, Sun City, and then 2002 Pretoria agreement. After that, you have this M23. It is the result of an agreement that didn't work in 2012, called the Agreement of Goma. That agreement was signed in Goma 2009, March 23. Here's the name of M23. It came from there. It is to tell people, look, we were born from this agreement that didn't work. So that's how this movement was born.
Yeah, this makes total sense. It might be helpful. So some of my viewers are going to be fairly aware of what's been going on in Congo. Some of them might not be. So it might be helpful. We're talking about the agreements. It might be helpful to talk about, maybe give a high level overview of what, I mean, Congo has seen decades of conflict with almost different sets of conflict, but at like an incredibly high level, what's been going on.
Okay, to understand the conflicts in Congo, you need to go far to 1994. This is the year of genocide in Rwanda. This is the starting point of the point of the conflict in Eastern Congo. When the genocide arrived in Rwanda, in that time, you have almost 3 million of people flowing from Rwanda to the countries in the region. Congo was forced to host almost 1.5 million of Hutu refugees from
So about half
Rwanda.
of them.
Exactly. Among those people, you have combatants from the army that was defeated. The Hutu army was defeated, and among them you have militia that was accused to have perpetrated that genocide. This is the first point. And the Rwanda regime that held in the power after the genocide was concerned about the security of their country from those people that they call genocidaires. And they accused Congo to host those people. And this became a pretext from the Rwanda regime to go after Congolese authorities to invade Congo, to neutralize this threat, what they call the threat. This group, the militia, they call it in French, maybe in English too, FDLR, this Democratic Force of the Liberation of Rwanda.
Mm.
These people are accused to be the genocidaire and to hide themselves in Congo. So they become, from that time until today, the pretext, an excuse for Rwanda regime to invade Congo.
Mm.
They did it first after genocide, and they brought at that time another guy called Laurent Désiré Kabila, and the Mobutu regime was off. At that time, Congo was called Zaire, with the president whose name was Mobutu. Mobutu was pressured by the international community to host those people. It was not his fault. Unfortunately for him, Rwanda and the allies in the region came to throw Mobutu and to put Kabila in the power. This is, you can see, we have series. Mobutu's regime is over because of this situation. And then Rwanda and the regional coalition against the Congo, they came with Kabila. Kabila is now president from 2009. He is president because of the Rwanda, because of the regional powers. And then they got a disagreement on how they will manage the power, how they will control minerals, all those stuff, because this war is about the minerals, about the economic control. Kabila was not the guy anymore for them. This is the first Kabila, the father, Laurent Désiré Kabila, and the disagreement led to a new war.
Mm.
That started in 1988, a new rebellion supported by Rwanda, armed by Rwanda. This the rebellion, Rassemblement Congolais pour la Démocratie, so Rally for Democracy, was armed by Rwanda, and it was very strong, and succeeded to occupy almost the half of the territory. We got agreement with those people, and after that you have new rebellions. After an agreement, disagreement, new rebellion. After the Rally for Democracy, supported by Rwanda, you have new one called CNDP. CNDP is Conseil National pour la Défense du Peuple, like an organization to defend people. Which people are we talking about? The Rwandophone people. In Congo, you have Tutsi, who are Congolese. And it makes it problematic because you have Tutsi in power in Rwanda, and they think people who are in Congo, those Tutsi in Congo, are in danger, and they need to be protected. So all those groups supported and armed by Rwanda have these claims, this claim about the protection of this population, the Tutsi ones, and it has become a pretext to have new rebellions as an agenda against the Congolese state. So now we have M23, which was defeated before in 2013, and they were defeated and went to the Uganda. After all these years, from 2013, they are back with new agenda, new claims, among them the protection of Tutsi population. So you can see what I can say for these conflicts and for our viewers. You have three futures, three factors that shape this conflict. You have, first of all, transnational identities. Why transnational identities? You have people like Tutsi who are in Congo, who are in Rwanda, and they control the power, political power in Rwanda. You have Tutsi in Burundi and in Uganda. So you have those people whose existence predate the colonial time. And when borders came with colonization, you find those people everywhere in the region. And now you have colonial borders with people, you never know who is where, who belongs to which state.
Yeah.
And this brought problem until today. This is the first mechanism, first factor, transnational identities. The second one is economic. Obviously, the economy, those people, Rwanda, those states, foreign powers, Rwanda, Uganda, even more. Maybe we will talk about Western powers. They come because of minerals. Congo has more than 60% of coltan, and everyone know here why we can use for coltan. We have coltan in our phones, our tablet, our computers, our electric vehicles, and Congo has those things. That's why you have this war. Rwanda control mineral sites in Eastern Congo, and that for 3 decades. So this is the second key. And the last one is the Congolese state itself. All these situation broke this Congolese state. You have a weak state that is incapable of securing population, controlling its own territory, and it's brought this instability for now 3 decades.
Yeah, this makes total sense. I mean, yeah, it seems like it just is a lot. There's a lot of factors and a lot going on. It seems like what you're saying makes sense that the current wave really seems to stem from the Rwandan genocide and the resulting kind of
Exactly.
outflow of like almost like a counter movement against the genocide that Rwanda's been doing, and then it's kind of been splintering off since. And between that and you mix in all this mineral wealth, things like coltan that become very valuable, and you kind of have an ugly situation that has harmed a lot of innocent people.
Yeah.
I guess so. One thing I wanted to ask about. So you were talking. You study a lot about like ethnonationalism and understanding the different kind of identities in the conflict in this area. And you already hinted at this, but it seems like a lot of the identities are complicated. Some of them they can range from very local groups with very local conceptions of their interests to these like very big transnational identities like Hutu and Tutsi that span a lot of different countries. So maybe can you walk through what do you look at as you've been researching this area?
Okay, let's talk about ethnonationalism. First of all, you need to understand this concept of ethno-nationalism. You have a couple of authors who define it in diverse ways. So I will maybe focus on two ways of understanding ethno-nationalism. The first one is a political ideology. In this conception, vision of ethno-nationalism, belonging to a nation is defined on the ethnic basis. You have this. So, who is member of the nation? The question is that who is the member? Who belongs to the nation? The one who has an ethnic, the one who is member of possibly a dominant ethnic. You have it across the world. Maybe you know the case of India, which is in the news now. You have countries such as India who define the citizenship on the ethnic base. So this excludes people who are not, for example, Hindu and or everything else. This is the political ideology of the ethno-nationalism. So nation and ethnic identity. The second one is the sense of belonging. This is more subjective. It comes from people, from community who express the sense of belonging, the idea that we share values, we share a common history, a common culture, common traditions, and we have the same language, like francophone, rwandophone. So I am focusing on these two dimensions of ethno-nationalism that operate in the eastern of Congo's conflicts. How it works. We just discussed about transnational identities. You have Hutu, Tutsi living in the region. You have Tutsi communities in Congo. And then the question of who is member of the society, member of the nation, become more important for those people. Because of what? Because of the threat Congolese people, Congolese politicians think they are facing from foreigners, from other powers, and mostly from Rwanda. When Rwanda attack, when Rwanda invade through rebellions and all these things, it become problematic for the people whose citizenship is contested. Those Tutsi Congolese. They are Congolese, but they are Tutsi, and they have their, what I call in my research, they co-ethnic members living in Rwanda, a country seen as a threat to the Congo. And this question of who really belongs to the nation become more salient. And those people see their nationality, their citizenship being every time contested. They face suspicion of being people who infiltrate. I don't know if it is the word in English. Infiltrate the society for the benefit of Rwanda and to hurt the country. So this question become politically important. So those and you have it's occurred starting with Mobutu, and in this case, when you have conflict locally, because politicians in the big cities, in the capital city in Kinshasa, Mobutu had allies from Kivu. And those politicians, those allies from Kivu, they have voters locally among communities. And those communities live together with Tutsi communities as well. And when they have problem, when they have conflict locally, this affects the perspective in political area in Kivu and in Kinshasa. And Mobutu, when Mobutu began to have difficulties with opposition, you need to find the way to maybe to reinforce your side. And Mobutu, the way to do so was to understand the claims from Kivu politicians to exclude those who are not really member of the nation, which means Tutsi population from Kivu. So you can see the citizenship of those kind of people is always contested, redefined. Mobutu did so by voting a law. The law in 1981 was to recognize all those people, and Mobutu said, "Okay, you are all member of this country." Excuse me. This was in 2072. After that, Mobutu changed into in 1972. Excuse me, and in 1981, a new law came to to distract everything, to say no, you don't belong anymore to the country. If you want to become Zairwa in that time, so Congolese now, just apply personally and not collectively. So you can see every time the membership of this group was redefined every time. So this is the first way to see the ethno-nationalism. The second one, the sense of belonging. And now those groups are under pressure. They think they are under threat. They in their narratives. When I started, you can hear things like they want to do a second genocide on us. This genocidaire narrative is very, very present in their claims, and that this shape
And
the
just to
sense of
be
belonging.
clear, in whose claim?
Yeah.
In whose claims is the second genocide narrative?
Oh yeah, this is Congolese Tutsi.
Okay.
Congolese Tutsi. Yeah, Congolese Tutsi, and particularly the Congolese Tutsi they call Banyamulenge. So you have a couple of Tutsi, Banyamulenge, Tutsi themselves, and among them you have a small group of Banyamulenge, but all of them are Tutsi. They
And
claim that they fear a second genocide on them, but this is a contradictory narratives in Eastern Congo. They claim so, and others communities who are against them, who thinks they are not Congolese. So you have Baflero, you have Babembe, you have Banindu. Those are local groups who contest the membership of Tutsi in general, the Congolese Tutsi, and those local groups claim in contrary that they fear that they will be exterminated one day by this Tutsi. Tutsi see them as a threat, and as people who will make a genocide on them. So you have a contradictory narratives, and these narratives
this is
shape, as I said.
quick
Yeah.
question right there, just to make sure. So the Congolese Tutsi, their fear for the second genocide is again that would be done by fellow Congolese people, not by Hutus that are in Congo, but
Okay.
by other ethnic groups. Or are the Hutus a bit more combined and affiliated with the Hutu or Tutsi Congolese people in that area?
Okay. They fear this second genocide from, you remember, the Hutu fled to Congo
Right.
after the big genocide,
In Rwanda.
and they have, exactly, they have become a pretext for Rwandan regime, a Tutsi regime, let's say, because you have to make it clear. The Tutsi regime in Rwanda set this group as a pretext to invade Congo for 3 decades now. And those Tutsi in Congo fear that this group, who honestly doesn't exist anymore,
Right.
because for three decades, it's you have they are maybe the old people, old men, and but they think these people, this group, still there and is a threat to their life. This is Tutsi, the Congolese Tutsi, and the Rwanda has this narrative too.
I was going to say, this is
To
also the Rwandan government's official line for a while, too. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, exactly. So this narrative came from Rwanda, from the elite among the Tutsi, Congolese Tutsi, and really you have violence from both sides, from this group and from local, what they call First Nations, like in Canada and the US, you have those groups calling themselves First Nation, Aboriginal, I can say, in Eastern Congo, and they fight the Tutsi, Congolese Tutsi, as stranger, as foreigners. They never believe they are Congolese, because of that violence that came from Rwanda, because they never accepted the idea that the violence from the Tutsi genocide in Rwanda was exported in Congo. And they, they make the Congolese Tutsi accountable of that. So that is you can see the broad is like that. And so the claim is there, and those claims shape and reshape the sense of belonging in Tutsi Congolese community and in local Congolese communities like Bafleo, Babembe, Banindu. In both sides, it reinforces the idea we are a group, we face a threat, we belong to this group, we have same traditions, we have common history, language, and so on. And now, because I was focused in a Tutsi perspective in Banyamulenge, exactly, and what I could see was like they was able to develop what I call in my research a survival ethnonationalism. A survival ethnonationalism is based on the idea that they fear for their life and they have to be together. And this is their slogan: stay together and fight. This is why they say, stay together and fight, or you die as a group. So I was able to focus on the group, on the militia, and they have now a militia defending themselves, called Twirwaneho. Twirwaneho, it is a name in Kinyarwanda. It is a name in Kinyarwanda, the language from Rwanda, because those people speak Kinyarwanda. You can see even in their identity, they have a problem. In Congolese perspective, in the Congolese local communities perspective, seeing the people speaking in Kinyarwanda is a problem for them. So this group organized, mobilized in the idea we have to defend ourselves, and I call it survival ethno-nationalism. And they are there. They fight. Now they are fighting as allied to the M23 to keep going and defend themselves. And all this, you can see, it reinforces instability and suffering for population in both sides.
Yeah, this makes total sense. I mean, I like the phrase survival ethno-nationalism. And I mean, it makes me think of, I think there could be other parts of the world where that idea applies. Maybe in aspects of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, maybe in some of the stuff in Myanmar. Those are conversations for different days, but like it seems like it can be a wider, even human phenomenon that you can have groups that feel belligered and then kind of they maybe go on the offense in a way but they're justifying it as a defensive, like we're defending our survival, we need to come together to survive. How does the M23, how do they connect with this? Because I thought they were a bit different, but how do they interrelate with these groups, or kind of um where are they coming from? I know that they're, I believe you said this, that they're a little more associated with the Ugandan side. And yeah, kind of what's their deal?
Okay, the M23 was born after the Goma Agreement. The Goma Agreement was signed in 2009 in March 23. So M23 is March 23. This agreement failed, according to them. It was supposed to implement things like amnesty, recognition as a political movement, liberation of prisoners, all these things. According to them, the government failed to do so. And this was signed with CNDP. Remember, the other group, the Conseil National pour la Défense du Peuple, which means National Council to protect people, to defend people, which was led by a Tutsi general who came out of the National Army, Laurent Kunda. It is this group who signed this agreement with the Congolese government in 2009 in Goma. So for them, it failed to implement what they agree for. And after that, so we are in 2009. In 2012, M23 was born with the idea we defend the March 23 agreement. And the new war started from there 1 year after they was defeated by the Congolese army with the help of the logistically from United Nations. And after that, you have from 2013 until 2021, November, M23 was back from the refugee. Exactly. They resurged from the Uganda camp and started the war. And they became more stronger than before. That is not understandable from what the international community can do. But remember, I said this is also a responsibility for Congolese government, which is, as a state, the state was weakened by all these 3 decades of the war. So they came back with more strength, more logistic, and with new claims. Among them, you have the same question of protection of Tutsi populations. And that's to respond directly to your question. The link is there. They claim that Tutsi are not safe and they have to protect them. The government have to protect them. And if not, they will do so. That's what they try to do now. And in 2 years ago, they reinforced their movement to become more political and military, and they create the alliance, the Congo River Alliance. The Congo River Alliance and M23 is an association to be more political, to organize their narrative, politically speaking. And you have Corneille Nangaa, who leads this political dimension of the movement. Corneille Nangaa, for those who follow Congolese politics, was the chairman of electoral commission, the organization that leads election in Congo, and now he's a leader in a rebellion side. That is crazy from Congolese politics. He is leading now the political aspects of this movement, and now they have Rwanda behind them. The international community, in a couple of reports, said that Rwanda support Rwanda armed, and Rwanda give them troops to be more stronger, to be stronger, as I said, and as we can see, they are now in Goma, Bukavu, that are the major cities in Eastern Congo, and they keep going. Now with Washington Accords, we can see that there are some hope, but yeah, here's what we can know about M23.
This is really interesting, and this is helpful.